So the Merkaba is a geometrical symbol. It's like a structure, and it is two equilateral intersecting tetrahedrons. That's what these are. And one points upward, one points downward. It's male and female, the balancing of these energies. And they're meshing and they're merging and they're interlocking. And to activate this motion is to be completely balanced within the spiritual, metaphysical, mind, body, spirit, male, female, the North Pole, the South Pole, the red, the blue. So these two are known as the star tetrahedron. It's also the vehicle of light. So when we talked about the swastika rotation of the heart being able to shred
through the ether, this is the same technology. So in creation, they rule as two opposite laws, the law of spirit and the law of matter. In Merkaba, when we break down the word, Mer is light, Ka is spirit, Ba is body, and you are a reflection of the Merkaba. All of your life experiences are reflected in it as well. And this interpretation of the Merkaba comes from the ancient Egyptians. We also have the Merkava. It can be spelled Merkavah. It is spelled Merkavah, and this is what we find in the Jewish mysticism and Jewish Merkava mysticism, and it means thing to ride in or cart. It is the throne or chariot of God, and this is where they mention Ezekiel's vision of God. But beyond that vision, this chariot is what allows interdimensional travel. This is how we communicate with other dimensions. This would be when your Merkaba is on full throttle. So the complete activation of the Merkaba is basically symbolizing that you have the capability to transmute the entire body into light. The Merkaba is a vehicle, okay? It's a mode of transportation through light, okay? And essentially, as the Merkaba activation reaches its pinnacle points, what you're experiencing is a shift in consciousness. And so this is the complete synergy between the mind, body, and spirit. This is what allows us to go beyond the constraints of the simulation and to ascend out. So we talk about ascension. It's talked about a lot. It's been talked about a lot. And, this is how you cut through the veil. So I'm going to read here this description of the female and male Merkaba, because I had mentioned that one of the tetrahedrons is male, one is female. Is sun, the future, one represents the past. And so this meshing, it kind of positions itself differently for the male and for the female. So let's go ahead and read this. It's from the book, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. And he gives a nice description here, which I wanted to share with you guys. So we'll take a look at this image of the male. And he says, there are only two symmetrical ways that a human being can look out of this star tetrahedron form, with one point of the star above the head and one point below the feet, and with the alignment of the human body looking toward the horizon. So he's setting us up on how we're going to visualize this. So for a male body looking out of his form, his sun tetrahedron has a point facing forward and the opposite face flat is behind him. His earth tetrahedron has a point facing out back and the opposite flat face is in the front. So yeah, so the other, I had mentioned that one of the tetrahedrons is the sun, the other is the earth. And now when we look at the female, he says for a female body looking out at her form, her sun tetrahedron has a flat face forward and a point facing out the back. And her earth tetrahedron has a point facing forward and the opposite flat face is behind her. So all is contained within. I have a picture here of the different geometrical figures, and it starts with the egg of life, the fruit of life. Come down here. There's also the germ of life. There's all of these, oh, here's the germ of life. So they're all here, and we're going to talk about the flower of life because this is one of the popular ones. The flower of life is depicted just below the title here. So the flower of life contains the basis of Metatron's cube, which is the form on the top right. And from this form, all 5 platonic solids can be found. So we're going to go over those really quick. I'm just going to say them out loud, and then we'll move forward. We have the tetrahedron, we have the cube, octahedron, we have the dodecahedron, and we have the icosahedron. And the flower of life is the female energy. And if you see it, it sure does look female. There's so many curves, it's flowing. It's happy to be contained within that circle because it knows it's ever growing. And as soon as we start to put lines to join the outside of it together, we start to get a more structured figure, which is Metatron's cube. Now, this is the male version of the flower of life. And so, I mean, we're just saying it over and over, this male and the female, the male and the female. And it's because these two contain all of the blueprint of having the most harmonious flow. And so the divine masculine and the divine feminine we talk about all the time, and it's one of my favorite things to reflect on because it's one of the most powerful things to work on, to try and balance these energies within ourselves. And it's crazy how our world is trying to completely make this something so confusing to like the kids growing up these days. It's the distortion, and even like the swastika I mentioned, they inverted that. The Nazis had inverted that peaceful symbol. That symbol used to be representative of like harmony and prosperity. And so again, this polarity of truth versus inversion.